Hello, and on today's special point 5 episode, we had some car trouble.
Oh, dear. Oh, and it was my birthday.
Yeah, and so many video games, so little time.
And Fozzie the Bear, or as they call him on the streets, Wocka Wocka Flame, along with his posse MWG, that's the Muppets with Guns, are releasing their first album titled Brought to You by the Letter 3.
This is episode 7.5 of the Geek 30 Happy Hour. Special point 5 episode of the Geek 30 Happy Hour. This is Alex, and I am joined, as always, by JoJo.
Hello! How are you doing today?
Good, man. And so, what the hell is that?
Okay. I'm usually a rock alternative person. If not, I'm listening to soundtracks and instrumentals and classical music. But a couple of friends of mine have introduced me to EDM recently, which I didn't know was a thing, apparently, but people love electronic music.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, it's a great stuff.
It's a thing, dude. Get on board.
And there's an artist called Steve Aoki, and he did a collaboration with somebody I've never heard of, and I didn't think it was an actual name until I heard it. It's like, what is this? And his name is Wocka Wocka Flame. It's like, what the hell?
Guys, so everybody listening has heard of both of those people. And this is JoJo being old.
This is JoJo being old. What are you kids with your damn hippity hops and get off my yard?
Get off that yard.
I'm shaking my fist in the air angrily at you.
So, welcome to a point 5 episode. This is going to be one of many point 5 episodes. Something that happens in between our formal episodes.
Sometimes the timing is we might have one guest at the early November, like the first week of November, like Marissa, and then the other guest might not be until later in November, and we don't want to leave you guys with 3 weeks of empty space. That would suck.
Yeah, and JoJo and I are always looking for excuses to hang out, and we figure you guys are welcome to hang out with us.
Hey, let's record that.
Yeah, let's do it. And as always, we have a beer with us.
We do have a beer.
This is not going to be a special beer segment, guys. It's Heineken.
It's Heineken.
We're drinking Heineken.
We're loving Heineken right now. It's it's two friends enjoying a beer, just shooting the shit.
Yep, shooting the shit. And we have it from I got this little kegerator thing.
Oh, it's amazing. I'm jealous.
Awesome. And I really got it because Deanna got it for me for my birthday one year.
Best wife ever.
Deanna, was it my birthday? Yeah, I think it was my birthday. And so she got that for me because I'm a huge fan of Newcastle. If you guys heard the first episode, you know that.
And every episode afterwards.
Yeah. And,
or most episodes.
And the two things that kegerator, this little mini kegerator take, they're tiny little kegs, obviously, like we said. It is Newcastle, Heineken, and I mean, I guess you could say Heineken Light. I don't really count that because it just doesn't. It's not very good. But so I tend to swap out between Heineken and Newcastle depending on what's at the grocery store. Most of the time it's Heineken because those sons of bitches don't order the freaking Newcastle.
Of course not.
No, it's a pain in the butt.
You would enjoy that too much. That was really weird. I'm so sorry.
I don't know what you did. You threw up in your mouth a little bit?
No. I had a bubble in my throat, and that just didn't come out right. So too much head.
Too much head. We wanted to hang out here for a little bit, invite you guys to come along. And like we said at the top of the show, we've had some car trouble. JoJo, why don't you tell us about your car trouble first?
So, ironically, on my birthday, I was planning to go to New York because Angry Orchard actually opened their new Innovation Cider House in Walden, New York. And I'm like, well, the first day it's opening is on my birthday. This has to happen. There's
totally
no better way of celebrating my birthday than the opening of a cider place. I love ciders. I love beers. All that fun stuff. And the alternator on my car did not agree with me, unfortunately, on this one. So I was in the middle of driving. Actually, I was still in Virginia, so it wasn't a big deal at that point. I went to have lunch with a friend of mine in Sterling. And I think it was Sterling. It might have been, it's that general area. It's Northern Virginia.
Okay.
And on the way back, I would drive, and my radio and my lights just cut out. I was still driving.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
All the electronics just went out.
Like the engine was going,
the engine still went.
Really?
Yeah, I was still able to drive it, and that's initially when I thought it was the alternator because the alternator is what charges everything up and keeps everything up and running from the battery. So I was able to drive it to the Yard House after doing a couple other things where we had dinner together, which is fantastic. Thank you guys again. Since
You're welcome.
My New York trip was abruptly canceled.
You're welcome.
And
friends to the rescue.
Exactly, and it was a fantastic night at that. I ended up having to get it towed from Springfield to my dealership, and it cost me an arm and a leg. I'm still recovering from that.
Ouch.
Yeah, new alternator, new battery. Got an oil change because I was already there. Why not?
Yeah, why not? Get it done.
Exactly. And so I have a functional car now.
Well, that's good. Good. You didn't have to get a whole new car.
No new car. Because I'm waiting until next year so I can get my truck.
Yeah, there you go. You're still looking at the Ford
F-150 Raptor. Yeah, the one that's going to cost way too much, but does everything.
It's cool. It's a cool truck, though. It's a cool truck. Yeah, I had some car trouble because I actually totaled my car.
Yeah, but I mean, you did, but you didn't simultaneously.
Yeah, it's weird, right? So it's funny how deer really screw up your car. I was driving home. It was late at night. It was a Monday. This is a few weeks ago. And driving home from band practice. And I was on 66 going west. And those of you who are in this DC metro area, you guys know 66, no matter what time of day, I mean, cars are flying. There's, it's never not full of cars.
It's DC as a whole. DC's voted the worst in traffic, period.
And 66 is considered
notorious. It is the number
worst, one. Yeah, it's the number one worst road in America.
Period.
Yeah, and so I was not, when you're coming off of Fairfax County Parkway onto 66 going west, and then my exit is maybe just a few exits down. Now, in that span, I ended up hitting a deer.
Which, you had a bright red car, by the way.
Yeah, I have a bright red car, and granted, I was surrounded by a bunch of other cars. Right. All of a sudden, I saw the car on my left swerve, and then I noticed there's a deer in front of my car. I'm going 65 miles an hour, or I'm sorry, 55. If there's any police officers listening, I went 50.
You were driving in the right lane at a safe, appropriate speed. Yes. The 3-car length rule.
So I hit that deer pretty hard. It went under my tires, punctured my back left tire. It was a buck, so it was a pretty big deer. And that, I think like one of the antlers or something pierced my back left tire.
Oh, wow.
But, it was one of those situations where, you're driving, all of a sudden you yell, oh shit, and you have to pull over. I didn't even realize that my tire was flat. And I looked and I was like, oh, I just have a busted headlight. But what I didn't notice at further inspecting the car is that there were dents all along the side of my car, and
Morse code.
Yeah, it was really, really bad. But I was like, it's not. I guess I didn't expect it to be totaled.
Right.
This is my little Subaru Impreza, which I've had for 11 years.
It's been everywhere, uphills both ways.
Yeah,
over
130,000 miles. I've driven it through blizzards.
Right. Hurricanes.
All-wheel drive. If you guys have ever driven a Subaru, they're just the most reliable cars ever. I could have driven another 100,000 miles easy. But that deer didn't let me. Nope. I got the call from the insurance company saying that it was totaled. So Deanna and I went out and bought a new car. And I'm loving it.
So I got a fixed car. You got a new car.
I got a new car. Well, it's not a new car. It's a used car. It's a 2012.
But it's new to you.
But it's new to me. Yeah. And it's fancy and it's lovely. But the lesson learned here, folks, is screw those deer.
Screw those deers.
Yeah.
And don't make any plans to New York because,
Yeah.
Heaven forbid.
No, God forbid. But, you mentioned your birthday.
Yeah.
So everybody wish JoJo a happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Belated 23 birthday at this
again.
Point. Yes, you're 23. That is right.
With the gray beard, yes.
Yes, with the gray beard. And so JoJo, like he said, his trip got canceled. So me and a bunch of friends, and we met JoJo at the Yard House.
So it was hilarious to me and also amazing because I texted one of my friends like, well, I'm not going to New York. And he basically went and put his hammer up in the air and go, Avengers Assemble, kind of a deal. And everybody was there. It's like, oh my God. So I felt a lot of love, and I cannot thank these guys enough, honestly.
It was just one of those texts from Ben and saying, JoJo's plans got canceled. Everybody was like, wait, okay, yep, calendar's free. Let's go. and so we made it happen. And if you guys have ever been to the Yard House, it's a
couple different locations.
Yeah, there's a couple different. So we went to the one in the new Springfield Town Center. If you guys
has gone 180-degree turnaround because I remember it being Springfield Mall. Yeah, and it was horrible.
Yeah,
and I've been in there now with the new stores. I mean, same layout obviously, but completely redesigned, completely redone. It is beautiful on the inside now.
Yeah.
The restaurants they're bringing are fantastic.
Yeah.
I know the Yard House in particular is available in San Antonio. I'd been there a couple times
really?
before.
Cool.
Yeah, before they came over to Springfield. And I think they're a Darden restaurant. They're the same people that own Olive Garden and Red Lobster and what is it? I can't remember the other one. There's two more, I think, like Longhorn Steakhouse.
Okay. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. You get those gift cards and they can be used at
Exactly.
any of those restaurants.
Exactly.
Yeah, and if you guys live in this area, if you haven't been to this new Springfield Town Center, you guys remember like Springfield Mall, where like somebody would get stabbed every 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's almost like a pleasantry. Like you go there to get stabbed. You know,
yeah,
you want to get stabbed and call
now,
it work.
now people don't get stabbed.
No,
and it's beautiful.
Yes,
they've opened up these really high end restaurants.
They're bringing in Dave and Buster's in December.
Yeah, in December.
Yeah.
We thought that was actually going to be like sometime next year. No, it's happening like next month.
Awesome. Yeah,
really exciting. So we get over to Yard House to celebrate JoJo's birthday. And the first thing I remember walking into the door is these two dudes holding up a guy who was coming off the bar. And, like, the dude was literally, like, passing out. He was so drunk.
He was zombified at that point.
What time did we get there?
7:30?
Yeah, so in order for him to get that drunk, he had to either, like, drink a lot of beer really, really fast. Or, like, that dude had, like, started early on in the day.
Like, he got there when they opened at, like, 11 or 12 or something like that.
But, guys, like, this dude was out.
Done. He was done.
Yeah, I mean, I literally thought that maybe something was wrong with him because of how drunk he was. But it was, and so I was like, oh, this is going to be great.
The only reason why he was functional is because he had two other people walking him around, because otherwise he'd be just
one of them, I think,
out.
was a manager, and then another one was like maybe a waiter.
Exactly.
And they were literally one had him by one arm, another one had him by the other arm, and they were just dragging him out. His feet were like kind of keeping up. And taking him outside, I didn't really realize like if maybe the guy, I can't imagine that they let him hold on to his keys. Or anything. So I guess that was an omen of things to come that evening. But not that it was a terrible evening. In fact, it was a wonderful evening.
It was fantastic. The food was great.
The food was great when it finally came, and it was warm.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, everybody has a bad day.
Everybody has a bad day,
right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that their kitchen had a bad day.
Yeah.
The food came out, and either late or they forgot an order, or they sent an order to the wrong.
Now
table.
we've been there. I've been there a bunch of times in San Antonio, and I've been there a bunch of times in Springfield. Now this is the first time that's ever happened, and they took it in stride. Yeah. So I have nothing but compliments for the Yard House about how everything happened.
This does not, guys. What we're saying here is not a bash on them at all, because I will go back and you'll hear why. They did screw up our orders when Deanna and I got our food. It was cold. And we sent it back, and and you could tell like the waiter was frustrated because it wasn't his fault. Right.
Well, your food came in a good 10 to 15 minutes after Ben and Alex's food had come in.
Yeah.
So it was
other Alex is a different Alex.
Right, different Alex. But yours came in 15 minutes. Mine didn't come in at all, and so they kind of brought out all the food.
They missed the birthday boy.
Right, exactly. Well, they brought out two of the foods, and so of the 7 of us, only 5 of us ordered food, and 3 of those were screwed up. Well, not really screwed up, they were just delayed. Yeah. So 2 of them got their food immediately, and they wanted to wait for everybody else, but it was to the point where you shouldn't be waiting anymore because your food's going to get cold. They finally brought out Alex's food. It was cold at that point. They took it back. And they brought out Deanna's food, which was cold. They brought it back. And then the waiter comes in and is just like, yeah, we forgot about you. We're making you new food.
Yeah, they forgot JoJo's food.
And
so really when all was said and done, the guy came around and he said, look, I'm so sorry for this experience. My manager's going to come around and talk to you guys and take care of you. And the manager came around, real sweet lady.
Right. Awesome.
Comes around and she says, guys, I'm so sorry. This isn't how, our kitchen is just kind of screwed up. The food is on us.
Right.
And so we were like, oh, well, that's nice. Like Deanna and I, our food is free. JoJo's food is free. Everybody else is paying. And, we're paying for the beers. Like, we had some beers.
Exactly.
And that's the other thing, guys. If you haven't been to Yard House, it's like, how many beers do they have?
Great selection.
Dozens and dozens and dozens of beers.
Yeah, a lot of beers.
So, obviously, we like that place.
Right.
But, we finish up our food, and then the waiter comes around with the check in hand, and he puts it down, and then he opens it up, and he says, no, I'm just kidding. The whole night is on us.
Oh, man. It was crazy.
It was awesome. So
it was unexpected.
Yeah, it really wasn't expected. A $250 bill ended up being free. So kudos to the Yard House. What fantastic customer experience.
Because we've had nothing but great customer satisfaction with them.
Yeah.
And even when, things were delayed, they were nice about it. They were approachable about it. They were never dicks about it at any point. And they still took care of us in the end because so many things kind of just went wrong. And again, it wasn't really one person or the other. It was just kind of this collective thing that things kind of failed, and they just took care of it. And it was fantastic.
So we fully endorse them.
Exactly.
Geek30 Happy Hour fully endorses the Yard House. So thank you again to our waiter. We ended up tipping him very well because he was a total class act throughout the whole thing.
Exactly. In cash, too, so he doesn't write it off because no taxes.
Yeah. There you go. All in cash, baby.
Exactly.
So beyond JoJo's adventures, we've also been enjoying some video games that we wanted to talk to you guys about. So here we are after the launch of Fallout 4.
Yeah.
And it is wonderful. And I'm so obsessed.
Your little OCD right now, I think, is the best word.
Yeah, I think OCD is one way. So, guys out there, okay, if you're playing Fallout 4 and you have gotten to your first settlement, which likely you have, because it happens pretty early on, in Sanctuary, you find it to be kind of a mess. I have been so OCD about cleaning up all the broken houses and the wood on the ground and all the things that can be turned into materials. I do that.
Right.
And it took up, let me think, I was playing last night, maybe 3 hours of just cleaning up and trying to figure things out in the settlements. I am enamored by the settlements. I was like, oh shit, there's a whole other game around here. So I ended up going off and exploring. It is just wonderful. Great game. If you guys want a good RPG, I really recommend it. Bethesda's done a really great job. It's Bethesda, right? Bethesda, yeah.
Is it Bethesda? I can't remember.
Yeah, it's Bethesda. And local game.
Right, exactly.
Studio up in Bethesda, Maryland.
5 minutes away from here.
Yup. And they did a great job. And then we've also been playing a ton of Halo 5.
Right.
I've been getting very frustrated at a lot of Halo 5.
We are at ends because we don't actually agree on this game, I think, at this point.
Well, okay. Let me just be clear. Let me be clear. I loved the campaign. It was wonderful. But then I hop online, and I am just getting wrecked. It's terrible. I used to be so good at Halo. I don't know what happened, JoJo. What happened?
What happened was Alex got old.
Is that what happened?
That's what happened. Because
my reflex is not as good as they used to be.
They so at a ripe old age, your metabolism slows down, your reflexes aren't what they used to be. It takes a little more effort to get out of the couch and all that fun stuff. No. So I used to play when Halo 1 came out. I used to play with people who ended up being pro gamers. So I used to be fantastic at Halo 1. And then I didn't play any Halo until Halo 2 came out, and I couldn't shoot a damn thing to save my life in Halo 2. But it was hilarious because when the Master Chief Collection came out, we did an environment. It was one other person that's been on here, Ryan, plus two other friends, Ben and Ben's brother Alex, other Alex.
Yeah, different Alex.
We ended up playing a map where we turned on pistols. And with the sniper rifles, they were not able to stop me. I destroyed everybody with a pistol, which is hilarious because it's a throwback to the original Halo 1. It's like, I got this.
Yeah, that pistol's still really, really
If you know how to use a pistol, it's fantastic. Yeah. I can't do anything else to save my life in that game, but it was fantastic. But Halo 5, to me, reminds me a lot of what Halo used to be because I loved Halo 4, don't get me wrong, but Halo 4 kind of went a Call of Duty route, and it became very technical and this and that. And I love that Halo is not seated in reality. I love kind of the fakeness of it, the boosting and the jumping and the whatnot. So I'm a big fan of the new one. I haven't touched multiplayer yet. I finished a campaign on Heroic. I need to go back and do it in Legendary. I need to go back and do it on Co-op. But I'm actually going back right now and getting all the information.
I'll totally play Co-op with you.
Yeah.
I would love to do that. But I'll tell you what, man. Get ready to get rocked when you get in there. I don't know. I used to pride myself at how great, I would just, it was so twitchy and I was just able to just wreck people.
Right.
And now I hop in and I'm lucky to get a KDR of 1.0 or something, just a 1-for-1 kill death ratio, and it's sad. It's sad.
I don't even have KDRs, and I don't care what game it is. It can be Titanfall, it can be Call of Duty, it can be Battlefield. I'm always 18 deaths and 1 kill. So it doesn't.
JoJo, I can't do it.
You're going down the dark path. I can't save you.
I can't get old, man. End it now. I can't. But Halo 5, guys, we said it before, we're always open to playing games with folks.
Definitely.
Feel free to hit us up. We're always on social media. You can hit us up on Twitter at Geek30. 30 is spelt out, as usual. And always feel free to call us, 443-424-3350. We'd love to sync up with everybody, who plays these games online.
And hopefully find people that are better than us, because, I already knew I was not good, but apparently now you're not good either. So
Oh, it's terrible.
That's a new revelation for you.
Yeah, it's terrible. Oh, and also I wanted to give a quick shout out. So I was lucky enough to be on my buddy's podcast called Record Breakers. It's a music podcast. These folks are a lot of fun to hang out with. They basically record a podcast talking about a specific album that they want to listen to. It's these four dudes, they get together to as an excuse to hang out and listen to new music. And they invited me because my buddy Drew is on the show, and Drew is a guy on my raid team, Filthy Casuals, in the guild AIE on Earth and Ring.
For the Horde. And had a ton of fun with them. I recommend checking it out. It's pretty cool. You can go to rebelli.net and you scroll down, you see the Record Breakers music podcast. Click on it, check it out. Rebelli is spelled RAB as in boy ELLY.net. Check them out. They've got some cool stuff there. Is that episode posted already?
Yep. It was just posted recently, so you guys should see it. What are we? We're recording this on the 12th of November. It went up a couple days ago. We recorded the show. What was it? Maybe a couple weeks ago. So they've got kind of backlog and they're cycling them through.
Awesome.
But yeah, total pleasure. We talked about this really fun CD that actually my mother introduced me to. It's Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats. Nice. And it is a really cool, old school kind of R&B, soul, Motown, some gospel. Like, it's a really, really neat band, and the dude's voice is just magnificent. So awesome. I recommend checking them out if you guys have access to like Spotify or iTunes or something. And so just a little plug for those guys. I was able to plug Geek30 on their show, so I wanted to do the same for them. Again, team, thank you so much for the love. Also, just a quick shout as we're wrapping up here. Go on to iTunes if you haven't yet and throw us a 5-star review.
We love it. It's awesome.
We were fortunate enough to be on the new Noteworthy list on iTunes, and that's awesome, and we're trying to keep that up. We're also trying to get onto this new Google podcasting service, so that more news on that to come. But JoJo, I think that's a good time to wrap it up.
I think it's a great time to wrap it up.
Yeah, so where can people reach us?
So, we have an email, and just like the Twitter handle, it's going to be Geek30 Podcast, and 30 is written out, so THIRTY. I can spell today, I don't know why.
Wow, you did that. You did that? Holy cow.
That should have taken like 3 takes, I don't know why. But geek30podcast@gmail.com. We've already mentioned our Twitter handle is Geek30, and also Geek30 is spelled out. Once again, you can call us on your old school rotary phone or your 80s like touch-tone little cordless one, the one that everybody had with the little antenna and whatnot.
I don't know what that is.
You don't know what that is?
No.
You're getting old. You're playing it off. I'm not the only one here. But if you want to call that phone, it's going to be 443-424-3350.
Yes, and check out geek30.com for all the good stuff happening. Also, as always, special thanks to Jamie Sweeland for all of his hard work. And thank you to you guys, as always, for listening. We'll see y'all next time.
Y'all have a great night.
See ya!